Sometimes it's rare that a mother can't produce breast milk. I've heard you say that it happens like once every 3, 4, 5 years. They don't make any breast milk. Is that true?
There are a few mothers that I have met in my practice that were non-producers. And in general, we know that the majority of women can produce milk. However, there are a few moms who do not produce sufficiently, and there may be reasons for that which we have to investigate. That's where the lactation consultant comes in along with obstetricians, and sometimes depending on what's the mother's medical history. And then there are moms who produce a superabundant amount of milk. Again, there's a medical problem involved there, and moms who produce sufficiently for their babies.
So you could say, in the beginning, you should try to think about breastfeeding by itself and nothing else. Is that correct?
Right. We think of exclusive breastfeeding. Surgeon General recommends that moms breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months of life, and then they would go into complementary feeding along with breastfeeding into the infant's 2nd year of life.
You say the first 6 months, you're talking even giving solid food, is that correct?
First 6 months without solid food.
So we're talking breastfeeding.
Breastfed, yes.
And there was concern in the beginning, if you give water, the kid will fill up on water.
Right.
So there's some concern you should only breastfeed and not even give any water.
Breast milk has sufficient water in it. Babies do not. 90% of it is water.
Now, when the first time you breastfeed, should you go back and forth, one breast per feeding? What is the best way of getting it done?
It is recommended that babies be fed on one breast until satisfied because of the composition of milk. I like to explain to moms that when the baby starts eating, the baby is like satisfying the thirst. And to satisfy the hunger, the baby has to get the hind milk, which comes after. And the longer the baby nurses, the more of the hind milk, which is higher in calories. The fat content is higher. And some studies show that that helps to reduce the colicky effect that some babies may have.
So you would suggest the first feeding, say you start with the left side, and only that side.
Right.
And then the next feeding, go to the right side, and only that side.
Yes.
And the next feeding, go back to the left side.
That's
Trying to
correct.
get that breast totally empty and get that last few ounces of high-calorie, high-fat breast milk. Is that correct?
We want the baby to get the highest calorie out of the breastfeeding.